Can Vice President Pence and Senator Harris deliver the best debate performances they've ever delivered in their entire political careers and stay on brand tonight? Well, let's answer that question with our Brand Power team. Media relations expert and founder of Allison May Public Relations, Allison Maloney. She's also a Newsmax contributor. And back with us again, Dr. John Tantillo, an applied research psychologist. John, Allison, thanks so much for coming back.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
All right, so talk to us, Allison, about the two campaigns and their very unique approaches to this style. I mean, we obviously are bringing a lot of baggage, all of us tuning into this debate tonight. You know, I talked previously about how Senator Kamala Harris gets a lot of credit for her debate performance against Joe Biden during the primaries, but she's facing a much different opponent tonight. And, you know, Vice President Mike Pence is no slouch when it comes to his debate skills.
No, Pence is great. He's a great debater. He did well back in 2016. And, you know, for him, he really just needs to be himself, John. He needs to be how he normally is. He's calm. He's confident. He's very even-tempered. Nothing seems to rattle him, and I'm sure that's what she's hoping to do. But he comes off with facts. And for her, she has been on the debate stage, and she is a former prosecutor, so she knows how to do this. But this is the first time that she's really going one-on-one, you know, with a VP. And so for her, she does need to appear confident, but yet I think that she needs to not attack as much and focus on policy. And she's got to defend how she's voted, because obviously Pence is going to go after her with her being very, very far left.
You know, a lot of Democrats liked the way, John, that she handled the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. But, of course, on the other hand, there were a lot of people that felt like she was way too aggressive. And normally, if all things were normal, we'd be talking about the man having to worry about looking too aggressive. This is what we talked about when Donald Trump was debating Hillary Clinton the first time. You know, don't raise your hand, don't point, don't approach. Obviously, that's not an issue here because of the social distancing. But has that kind of been reversed here, where Kamala Harris has to be careful about looking like she's too aggressive against Mike Pence?
Yeah, I think that's part of it, but I have a slightly different take. I would say that this is the battle of the brands, the two different approaches on how the candidates are confronting coronavirus or COVID. One, the Biden-Harris campaign is this cautious engagement, where the Trump-Pence campaign is a rational engagement with the real world. And Americans are going to really have a choice as to what they really want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a choice, and a very stark one at that, Allison, when you look at the difference here. If you are Mike Pence, what do you want to focus on most in terms of pushing back against Kamala Harris? How do you approach this?
Yeah, you just have to go back on her record, right? Her voting record, how she's co-sponsored the Green New Deal, how she has said that she wants to take away private health insurance. So his goal is to show how far left she is, even though Joe Biden says he's moderate. The reality is, Joe Biden, if he's elected, will be in the White House at the age of 78. You know, President Trump has COVID. So looking at these two VP candidates is extremely important. So he needs to really hone in that she's very, very liberal. And it's a matter of how liberal is she? And I think that's going to be the big takeaway from tonight.
Yeah, John, we heard some sound from Joe Biden yesterday saying he's not going to debate President Trump. He wants to, but he won't do it unless he can get confirmation that he's healthy and not contagious with COVID. We also heard one of the Biden-Harris campaign advisors, Anita Dunn, saying the same thing. They're not going to go through with it if President Trump can't, you know, definitively say he's no longer contagious with COVID-19. So this has even more importance on it. You know, in terms of Mike Pence and the message that he needs to convey tonight, that it's not just President Trump out there running the country, that Mike Pence is right there as his number two, his right-hand man, cool, calm, collected, steady as she goes.
Yeah, and I also think you have to appeal not only to Democrats, and you have to appeal to those independents as well. And, you know, having that kind of fear that you're worried about this and you're worried about that. I mean, I just don't think it plays well outside the Democratic Party. And if you're going to win, you're going to have to get those independents.
Yeah, the question is, though, how many independent voters are out there? You know, a lot of people, you know, I'm surprised actually finding out how many people have already voted even before the president came down with his COVID-19 diagnosis. You know, again, this is a big deal. It's going to change a lot of things, but a lot of people voting early, so it might not change as much as we anticipated. Allison, great to see you as always. John, we'll see you next week.